Welcome to part 6 of how I married wrong. Yeah, we're going back to our story now of my friend and my ex husband, how everything transpired. So I thought they broke up, and guess what? They didn't break up, it continued. And how I discovered that, I discovered after I got married, and I'm gonna be telling you details of how it happened and how I discovered it. They didn't break up. And I remember hearing later that sometimes she'll call herself Zandile. She'll call herself Zandile. She'll use my name. When they go out, people will be like, oh, we saw you at so place with your man. And I'm like, I was not there. Because when you look at her and look at me, if you don't know me very well, you will think it's me, or you look from far, you think it's me. Yeah, so the height, you know, the height, the face, the shape of the face, the smile. Yeah, everything was like, this is the same person. That's why we call each other twins. I'll never call someone my twin. My goodness, the people have been calling my twins, they've been showing me flames, guys. Oh my God, protect my heart, because this heart of mine, sometimes I love, you know, I love, I trust easily. I trust easily. I love easily. And yeah, I always pray and ask God to protect my heart, because I'm that person. My heart loves easily. I protect easily. I protect my friends. I protect my people. And it doesn't matter what people say about the person. I mean, I'll protect that person in such a way that even in this case of my friend, I was the person who was understanding that no, she was deceived. She didn't know better. I was protecting her. I ended up protecting her, not knowing that she should have chosen to do the right thing. And knowing myself, there is no way I would have done such a thing to my friend. Because I remember there was a situation where I had a friend. We're all married, they were married, and a husband tried to make moves on me. And what I told him is that if you continue with what you are saying, I'm going to tell your wife. So this must end here and end now. That's who I am, because I believe that you cannot do such a thing to a person. And besides, there's no love there, it just lasts and it will end bad. So I know myself, I cannot do such a thing to another woman, whether I know them or I don't know them. I cannot do such a thing, you know. Yeah, so that's what happened. It didn't end there. The relationship continued, and we're about to start a very, very interesting part where I'm going to be talking about what happened after. And just to remind you that the reason why I'm making these videos, I'm not trying to trend, but I've kept this with me for a very long time, and I believe that it is the time. This is the right time, because I knew that one day I'll have to share my story. I'll have to share my story. And, whenever people will ask me to, like, I remember my sister, so 2 years ago, she said, you need to write a book and share your story. It will bring about healing to many women. But I just didn't feel I was ready to do that, because mind you, this thing happened 15 years ago. 15 years ago. So you can imagine that I just couldn't find it right, or I was not ready to share it until God allows me to share it, and for a specific purpose. So when I was approached by Umo and Pindi podcast last year to share my story, I told her that I'm going to pray about it. I want to ask God, is this what you want me to do? And what is the purpose if I were to share my story? So they asked me last year, and I said, I'm going to come back to them. When I find the grace to share my story, I will do so. I will happily do so. So, yeah, when we connected again this year, I was like, okay, I think this year I feel in my spirit that it is the right time to share my story. And I spoke to my kids, because as you continue this video, they'll become part of the story. So, yes, we're going to move to what happened next, and it's about to get interesting. So, yeah, just open your hearts, learn what you need to learn, and maybe also on those comments, if you've gone through what I went through, please also share, because the purpose is to heal, bring about healing, and also know that you are not alone. Yeah.